Can I share my screen with you? Thank you. But firstly, can you introduce yourself to me? Just 10 to 15 seconds, briefly telling everybody your name, where you come from, how long you've been working as a teacher, for instance. What about Mr. Joel Algren? Am I pronouncing your name properly? Thank you, sir.
Decently enough. Yeah, my name is Joel Ahlgren. I am from Sweden. I'm 34 years old. I've been for a little bit over a year now here in Vietnam.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. And then what about Mr. Chilean Sontatov?
One second.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, everyone. My name is Julian. I'm from Ukraine, and I've been teaching for more than 4 years. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear my voice, sir? Can you hear my voice?
Yeah.
Julian, I can hear you.
All right. So can you briefly introduce yourself to everybody? Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Julian. I'm from Ukraine. I've been teaching for more than 4 years, and I'm 26 years old.
Oh,
thank you.
All right. What about Godwin? Godwin, please. Can you briefly introduce yourself to everybody? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Godwin. I'm from Ghana, 28 years old. And I've been teaching for 4 years now, yeah.
4 years now.
I've been in Vietnam for 2 years, yeah.
Cool. What about Eben? Eben, please. What about Miss Lin? Miss Lin, are you there? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lin, and I'm from Vietnam. I have been teaching for more than 6 years.
All right. Thank you, Lin. And what about Daniel, the newcomer? Can you briefly introduce yourself to everybody? Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Daniel, and I'm from Ghana. I've been teaching in Vietnam for about 6 years.
All right.
And I'm 32 years old.
All right. Thank you. Next to Daniel, I don't see your name, but the name is displayed as iPhone. Mr. iPhone. Can you briefly introduce yourself? Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Godwin. I'm from Nigeria.
All right.
And I'm 35 years old. I've been with the company for the past 2 years, and I've been teaching for the past 4 years.
Thank you. And what about teacher Pablo? Can you?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm 31 years old. I've been working in Vietnam for 5 years, and that's it.
All right. Thank you. And what about let's see, Mr. Benj Bryant, are you there? Mr.
Yes,
Ben?
I am. It's teacher Benji. Yeah, so my name's Benji. I'm from England. I'm 34 years old, and I've been teaching in Hanoi for just over 6 years now.
Just over 6 years now. Cool. And then Miss Nguyễn Thu Nga, please. Miss Nguyễn Thu Nga, please. Can you briefly introduce yourself? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, my name is Nga, as you can see, and I am from the House English Center. Nice to see you guys here. And today we will have an excellent meeting. Yeah.
Great. Okay. And then the last teacher, what about Eugene?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear your voice clearly. Thank you.
Okay, nice. Thank you. Yes, my name is Eugene. My webcam is coming from the shipper, so sorry, I don't have my video right now. So my name is Eugene. I'm from Ukraine. I've been teaching for around 4 years, 4 to 5 years, and that's all, I guess. I just woke up. I'm a little bit late, sorry. And
no problem. No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's so nice to see you, everyone.
Thanks, Eugene. Thanks, Eugene.
Yeah.
So, did you all have breakfast? Joel, do you have your breakfast? All right. All right. All right. Cool. I would like to share my screen with you, everybody. Thank you. All right, just a minute. So the name of the course book you will be utilizing in the next school year is English Discovery People's Book. All right, level 2. Take a look at the table of content. You will be dealing with vocabulary and then structure, song, and then what else can I mention, everybody? We're gonna have phonics. We're gonna have phonics as well as story. Okay, what are they all about? Check it out. Firstly, should we answer this question? How many % of students remember all the words after the first lesson? Teacher Pablo, according to your experience, how many % of them? Thank you.
Well, after the first lesson, actually, not everyone will remember what you taught in the first class.
Sure.
It depends on me to remind them, a little bit what we were teaching the previous class.
Right. I agree. So, according to some reliable researchers, it takes 60 times listening to the audio or the recording in order to remember the content perfectly. It's a huge number indeed, right? And talking about vocabulary and structure, we need specific techniques. I would say teaching vocabulary is very important. And that is the essential part of every single lesson. Structures refer to grammatical structures, the very simple ones that students at grade 1 and 2 may utilize in order to express their ideas. In this book, vocabulary and structure sections are followed by the song section. And then we do have the so-called phonics. Pronunciation will tell the difference between a good student and a normal student and a weaker one, for example. What else can I mention, everybody? We do have the story section, followed by projects. And then we have a review section in which students will do a couple of exercises, revising all of the key content in the lesson. And we do have assessment. Okay, so the international teaching methods, what are they? They refer to total physical response. What is meant by total physical response, everybody? Mr. Benji Bryant, can you tell me what total physical response refers to? Thank you.
Yes, so it would mainly refer to the students remembering a word from an action.
Sure.
So it's a very good way of testing, reviewing vocab is very useful, especially for lower grades.
Sure. I agree entirely. Yeah. Total physical response refers to make it simple, using our body language in order to illustrate the meaning of new words. And this method is particularly useful at low levels, kindergarten students or students at grade 1 and 2, for instance. It's all about your body language and your simple language in order to explain the new input, providing the new input, which is comprehensible to the students. What else can I mention, everybody? Critical thinking in English. what is critical thinking in English? Joel, can you share some ideas about the so-called critical thinking? What is it meant exactly? And how do we promote critical thinking in our classroom? Thank you, Joel.
Well, mainly getting the students to actually try and just use their English when they're searching text and doing assignments, that they need to find different answers in text. Really.
Sure. So in order to promote critical thinking in English, the content of the materials is very important. In addition, we teachers need to make appropriate questions in order to trigger their prior knowledge, or in order to help them apply the new language of the lesson. All right. We have the so-called Bloom's taxonomy with 6 different levels, starting with remembering, and then understanding, and then applying, and then analyzing, and then evaluating, and finally creating. I'll be discussing those levels in detail later on, everybody. Thank you. But you're right, Joel. Thanks. What else can I mention, everybody? We do have quick reflection and response, and then interaction between students, self-study and self-evaluation. All right, let's check it out. Lesson number 1, vocabulary. All right, so we're gonna have the lesson, the units, all right? And then the topic. For each topic, you will be dealing with, for example, 5, 7, 10 new words, for instance, okay? For instance, unit 5, topic pets, we're gonna have dog, cat, mouse, rabbit, parrot, for instance, okay? Unit 8, I'm happy, you'll be dealing with tired, hungry, thirsty, scared, happy. Now let's talk about your particular techniques to teach the new words to your students in the classroom. Mr. iPhone, can you tell me your routine techniques in order to teach the new vocabulary items to the students, sir? Thank you.
There are so many ways teaching new vocabularies to the kids, right? The most important is repetition of the words.
Sure, maybe, I agree.
Yeah, and getting the students actually using the body language or image relating to those words.
Sure.
To magnet the words into their subconscious.
All right, I agree. Thank you. What about Ms. Nguyễn Thu Nga? Ms. Nguyễn Thu Nga, please. What particular techniques do you often use to teach new vocabulary to the students? Thank you. Ms. Nguyễn Thu Nga, are you there, Ms. Nguyễn Thu Nga? So what about Julian, Mr. Julian Sondertoff? Can you tell me how you teach vocabulary to the students? Thank you. What about teacher Benji? Teacher Benji?
Yeah, sure. I mean, for introducing it, I would, for the first time of them learning it, I would just get them, I would show them flashcard. I would definitely use flashcards. Just listen and repeat. And then further on from that, I would use TPR or get students to individually be saying the words, and obviously then some games around it which involve them remembering the vocab. But the first time, I would just get them to all listen and repeat together for the first time. Yeah.
Sure. So teaching vocabulary should firstly start with teaching spelling, and then pronunciation. Next, meaning, and finally, use of the words. All right. We have different ways in order to express the meaning of the new words by using flashcard, by utilizing total physical response. You may teach the synonyms, the antonyms, for instance. You may provide the English definitions. Once in a while, teachers may give the students the translation into the mother tongue, but that should be the final option. That should be the final step, okay? Even for a Vietnamese teacher, I often tell the Vietnamese teachers that you should not translate every single word into Vietnamese immediately, because students need to think in English before we help them with the translation. And translation should be the last option, the last step that we may think of. Thank you, teacher. What else can I mention? Well, let's take a look at some other topics. Okay. So right now, we will focus on the so-called presentation. As I told you earlier, there are fixed steps in introducing new words to the students. Number one, pictures, for example. What does it look like? You elicit the ideas from the students. And then you have to teach the pronunciation of the word. Dog, for instance, okay? How to pronounce it correctly. Is it the long or the short vowel, for instance? And then you gotta use your body language. How to act like it, okay? Finally, don't forget to teach the spelling, okay? D-O-G, for instance, okay? There are certain activities in lesson 1, for example, my toys. Take a look at the page, everybody. We have my toys. We have, what do you know, toys? We have car, we have boats, we have bike, doll, train, and then listen and circle, listen and say, very simple. Ask, where are they? Ask, what toys do you see? Listen, listen and circle, listen and point. Shall we listen to the recording, everybody? Thank you.
Unit 1, My Toys, Pupils Book, page 4. Activity 2. Listen and circle.
Look, a train. Choo-choo. Oh, and a doll. Rose, look, it's a car. Vroom. And a bike. Look, what's this? It's a kite. And look, a ball and a boat. I love toys.
All right. All right. So the recording is very simple, and depending on each class, you may play the recording again and again for 2 times or 3 times or more than 3 times. Plus, in the second listening or in the third listening, you need to clarify the scripts, thoroughly to the students. You're gonna have them repeat the keywords. For example, you will once again teach the difficult pronunciation features of certain phrases in the recording, all right? What else can I mention, everybody? We do have the so-called practice and production. What is meant by practice?
Do you need something?
Sorry? Sorry? Anybody wants to make a question? No? All right, thank you. So I will move on, everybody. Take a look at them. We do have the so-called listen and say. Listen, point, and repeat the words. So teaching English is, initially all about repetition. I do agree with you. We have the students repeat the keywords more than once, remember, okay? Just repeat the words, read the written words, and work in pairs, for example. Shall we move on? What about the structure? Well, there are also some recommended steps in introducing structure in lesson 2. It's a, for example, this is a simple structure. It's a, so word to word introduction with your body language. It's a, it's a, it's a. For instance, okay, shall we move on? And then we're gonna replace words one by one. It's a cat, it's a dog, it's a mouse, it's a rabbit, it's a parrot, for instance, okay? Students look at the picture and say the full sentence. Of course, you may use a flashcard as a helping tool, you know, when it comes to repetition and explanation in your classroom. Thank you. What else can I mention, everybody? You gotta have the students make a sentence. They can speak or write the whole sentence on the given word. Okay, what else? Take a look. Shall we listen to the recording first?
Unit 1, My Toys, Pupils Book, page 5, activity 4. Listen and chant.
All right, listen and chant. So what's this, for example, is red. It's the car. What's this? It's blue. It's the boat, for instance. These days, I'm pretty sure that the kids in Vietnam are crazy about a TV program which is called Rap Viet, okay? The one stars, you know, rappers in Vietnam, and similarly, doing chanting in English is like rapping. So it's gonna be an interesting part of the lesson. So now we will be talking about the so-called, yeah, now the music is on. Music is on now.
What's this? It's red. It's a car. What's...
Okay, shall we just move on? In addition to listening, you may have the students point at the toy, listen with pause and color, and let the students get what the toy is. When it comes to using the audio and video in the classroom, it is advisable that we constantly make questions to ask the students. Even for videos, for example, if you play a video, you may ask them to count how many animals they have seen in the video. You may ask them to, for example, raise their hand if they see a zebra or if they see a lion, all right? What else can I mention? Practice with flashcards. Flashcards should be used in every lesson. I think for low-level students, we cannot deliver a lesson without using flashcards properly. And there are a variety of games and activities related to flashcards. Can some of you tell me your typical flashcard activities, your routine ones, everybody? Julian, which flashcard activities do you often utilize in your classroom? Thank you.
Oh, I have different games for like with flashcards. I usually, like, for example, for small groups, I can, first I show them, then I can hide everywhere so they can find, they can repeat. But it depends, like if you're talking about classroom activities like in public schools, it's different because there are so many kids there. But usually I repeat, show them flashcards, hide maybe on the blackboard, and they try to find, they should repeat, they should.
All right, thank you. What about you, Joel? What particular flashcard activities do you often utilize? Thank you, sir.
Well, yeah, obviously depends on the size of the class. Smaller groups, I find, especially if they're younger, doing short bursts of memory games with flashcards works really well.
All right. Godwin, Mr. Godwin O'Dean, which flashcard activities do you often utilize in your classroom? Thank you.
Okay, so in the public school setting, I normally have a lot of games, but a common game that I usually play with them is I use the sticky ball. Yeah, so I have a couple of, I normally have this game on the board where the kids have to throw the sticky ball to get some point.
Great.
So, yeah. They mentioned the words on the flashcard, and then they just throw the ball to get the target's marking. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, what about another teacher whose name is whose username is 123 at 123A?
My name is Eric.
Eric. Hello.
Yes.
Eric.
What I normally do is that after letting them practicing the flashcards, I paste them on the board as usual, and I ask them to find out the correct flashcard by throwing sticky balls, and sometimes I use a wheel game.
All right.
If we're able to detect the correct flashcard, then I give you a star.
All right.
I do.
Got it. I got it. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shall we move on? For example, we may have question and answer in practice. What's this? It's a ball. It's purple. Shall we move on? Okay, I would like to introduce some basic flashcard activities to you. For example, number one, flashcard instructions. Take a set of flashcards around the classroom and then divide the class into groups. Give each group instructions in turns. Group one, walk to the elephant. Group two, walk to the lion, for example. You want them to remember elephant, lion, for instance. The second activity, flashcard groups. Divide the class into groups. Assign each group a flashcard. For example, group number one, you will be Apple. This is your name, for instance. And then you're gonna give the instructions. Apples, touch your nose. Carrots, put your hands on your head. Okay, children, listen and follow the instructions for their group. Number three, missing flashcards. Stick a set of flashcards on the board. Children say the words, and then ask the children to close their eyes. Remove one of the flashcards. Children open their eyes and name the missing flashcards. What about number four, everybody? Magic eye. Take a look at the instructions. Stick a set of flashcards in a row on the board. Children say or repeat the words. Remove the flashcards one by one. Point to where they were, and children repeat the names as if they were still there. Okay, number five. What else can I introduce? Lip reading. Stick a set of flashcards on the board. Choose one flashcard and mouth the word silently. Children, read your lips and say the word. Okay, number six. The activity is called repeat if it's true. You gotta stick a set of flashcards on the board. Point to one of them and say the word. If you have said the correct word, children repeat it. If not, they just fold their arms and stay silent. For instance, this activity can be made more challenging if you say sentences. For example, is a blue car, is a big whale, for instance. And the last one, flashcard chain. Take a look at the instructions, everybody. Stand or sit in a circle with the children. Pass a flashcard to the child on your left and ask, do you like or what's this? The child answers, then asks the question and passes the flashcard to the next child, and so on, round the circle. Introduce the other flashcards in the same way. That's it, everybody. So other activities in lesson 2, for instance, listen and color. Point to the object and ask, what's this? Listen and color, listen and check the answers. Pair word, A ask, B answers, for instance. Now show and listen to recording. Thank you.
Unit 1, My Toys, Pupils Book, page 5, activity 5. Listen and color. Then say, 1.
What's this? It's a ball. It's orange.
All right.
2.
What's this? It's a boat. It's red.
All right.
Find the common sound.
3.
Example.
What's this? It's a car.
All right.
It's purple.
4.
What's this? It's a doll. It's blue.
Now you do it. Answer question.
5.
What's this? It's a kite. It's yellow.
Yeah, listen and color, everybody. Listen and color. And then listen and check the answers. Pair word, A ask, B answers, for instance. Okay, shall we move on? Unit 1.
Number 19.
We have, is that it?
Week.
For example, okay. What else can I mention? Unit 2, once again, is
number 20.
Yes. Okay. Some games in lessons 1 and 2. Okay, some other games in lesson 1 and 2. Well, do you hear any audio? I'm not playing the audio, but it seems like some of you is playing certain recording. Are you playing any sound, any additional recording?
Don't take the bells. Bill yells.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
The answer is 1.
The answer is 1. I'm not playing that sound.
Questions 21 to 25.
I'm not playing that sound. Let me check it.
Number 21.
Number 21. I'm not playing that sound.
I think it says Philip Ray. Who's that? Philip Ray's microphone is the sound coming from.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Shall we just move on, everybody? The logical in choosing games, we do have the game bank from the teacher's book. You can download the books from the internet. The CAB Education Company will provide all of you with a link on our website from which you can download the related materials, everybody, including the pacing guide, the posters, the story cards, the flashcards. All of them are available online for your personal use. Thank you. Stages in learning vocabulary and structures. Students can repeat correctly. Students can look at the picture and say the word or the sentence. They can spell the word correctly. They can write a full sentence, and they can interact. I mean, making questions and giving answers, for example. So what should we say before the game? Who's going to play? How to play this game? The instructions are very important, everybody. For the most part, we have to utilize very simple language in order to explain the instructions of the games to the learners. And then we may have our students model what they are supposed to do first, okay? How to win this game? Reward system is a very important part in lessons with kindergarten students and primary students. Certain stickers or candies or even a star, next to their name on the board will really work. They love it. What do the winners get? Okay. We have a game called, for example, guess the card. Take a look. we need flashcards. We need an A4 paper with a hole on it. Cut down a small hole or square in the center of an A4 paper. Hold the sheet in front of a flashcard, allowing people to see only a small part of the picture through the hole. People guess the item. What else? Memory game. We're gonna need flashcards and magnets. Slideshow, for example. Stick flashcards on the board. Put pictures in the slideshow. If people memorize the cards, remove them and people list the items. To make the game more challenging, ask pupils to say the cards in the order. What else, everybody? Flashcards mime. You're gonna need the flashcards only. Invite a pupil to the front. Show him or her a card or a written word while hiding it from the rest of the class. He or she will mime the word silently. The pupil who correctly guesses the word is the next one to come forward. Shall we move on? Hot seats. I think this is a very familiar game with all of you. We will need flashcards and papers. For instance, we'll pick up 3 students from 3 teams, and then they will sit on chairs, look at other students. The others look at the word and try to use their body language, for example, to describe it. They may use English when it comes to higher level vocabulary items, for instance. Spelling bee, teacher shows a flashcard. Student try to spell this word as much as possible. It can be played with a bell to make it more engaging. All right. Pass the secret. Teacher whispers a word to 3 students. They'll whisper that word to another student in team. The last students will read out loud or write the word on the board. Shall we move on? Song teaching. I think kids love song. I do love song, everybody. Shall we listen to this song first? Thank you.
Unit 1, My Birthday. Pupils Book, page 6, activity 6. Listen and find. Then sing.
All right.
It's my birthday, hip hip hooray, happy birthday, clap clap clap, I'm 6 today. It's my birthday, hip hip hooray, happy birthday, stamp stamp stamp, I'm 7 today. It's my birthday, hip hip hooray, happy birthday, jump jump jump, I'm 8 today.
All right.
Happy birthday, happy birthday.
So I'm pretty sure that in a lesson with kindergarten or primary students, you spend a lot of energy on not only teaching, but also on singing and dancing. The kids are crazy about singing and dancing. I do once in a while teach them how to dance. For example, I can create certain dancing steps and guide my students to dance with me. For example, I would be talking about myself. I'm a teacher. I'm working online. I'm speaking English to you, and I love my job. I believe one day we're gonna beat the coronavirus. I believe one day we're gonna beat the coronavirus, for instance, okay? And then we can meet face to face, for instance. So the kids are always crazy about games, singing, and dancing. I believe you can deal with them easily. Shall we just move on, everybody? Thank you. Thank you. Song, another song. Take a look at the learning objectives of song. They can say how old they are, for example. They can follow a simple song. The target language should be, for instance, clap, jump, stamp. It's my birthday. 6 today. Recycled language, numbers 1 to 10. And receptive language, how old are you? For example, shall we just move on? Warm up, learning adventure, presentation, song, practice, and activity book. So this is the flow of a song section, for example, okay? Warm up, learning adventure, presentation, song, practice, and activity book. Okay, it's gonna be a piece of cake for you in the warm up. You may review the previous contents in the learning adventure. Well, just make questions. What is it? What color is it? Presentation, you would teach using total physical response, all right? Song, done, okay? We do have some follow-up activities like fight and draw, then say, okay. Year, practice, activity book, and wrap up. So, English Discovery 2. So this is another page from lesson number 3, song, as you can see. Listen and point, then say. Listen and find, then sing. Listen and say, then ask and answer. I would say, as a teacher, the very first thing that we gotta do is we follow the order of the exercises and the tasks in the book. They are well presented, okay? And then we just need to think about our own body language, our own explanation using the appropriate language for the levels of the learners. What else can I mention? Let's just move on, everybody. Okay, song again. Listen and point, then say. Listen and find, then sing. Listen and say, then ask and answer. Okay. Year. All right. What about phonics? I think teaching phonics is difficult. However, phonics is considered to play a very important part in the language, development of a child. Therefore, we do offer certain activities like say and color, then play bingo for the speaking lesson. Is a car is red, and then listen and say sounds fun, sounds fun. A hand with a red pen, for example, a dog in the box with a fork. Okay. Dealing with phonics, you help the students to identify and pronounce the key consonants and vowels in English correctly. Okay, sounds fun again. Listen and say. We have, for instance, the letter Q, and the sentence would be a queen with quick dogs, a fox in the box, for instance. I strongly believe that even native speakers or a foreign language learner who is currently working as a teacher must have been a successful learner in the past. You were good at language learning, so you can convey your own experience to the learners. And as for me, when I deal with vowels and consonants, I particularly pay close attention to the position of the tongue inside the mouth or the shape of our lips when we pronounce certain vowels and consonants in English, okay? Have the students repeat, have the students play certain games and activities like tongue twister, and I also have them work in pairs, ask and answer, and finally I will give them the feedback. Why they are speaking, why my students are speaking, I would just take notes of their pronunciation errors, for example, using paper and pencil or using a smart device with an S Pen, for instance. In such a way, I can take notes of any, important or any remarkable errors they've been making. Shall we move on? Listen and say sounds fun again. Yeah, shall we listen to the recording? Thank you.
Unit 1, My Toys. Pupils Book, page 7, activity 10. Sounds fun.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Listen and say.
Listen and say. Eh. Eh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
All right. Okay. Shall we just move on? Say and color again, as I told you. The lesson flow for speaking or a phonics lesson can be warm up, and then learning adventure, and then skills practice, and then presentation, and then again practice, and then activity game. So shall we just discuss a couple of questions regarding teaching pronunciation? Mr. Joel Alcran, Joel, please. Can you share your particular techniques dealing with pronunciation in your classroom, sir? Thank you.
Well, I think standard ways, just taking a word and trying to break it down first of all into smaller parts, and then emphasize each and every syllable in that word if it's a multi-syllable word.
Sure.
Yeah, and then just getting to know your students and see what works best for them. I think is better than anything else.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Joel. What about teacher Pablo? Can you share your experience in dealing with pronunciation lessons? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. What I usually do is to take one student from one team and one student from another team. I ask them to go to the board and they will repeat the word properly.
All right.
And if it is necessary, I will show them a video to repeat the word.
Cool, cool, great. What about Godwin? Godwin, sir, how do you teach pronunciation in your classroom, sir?
Okay, so mostly my pronunciations are taught by chant and maybe sometimes with songs. So what I mean by chant is maybe if we have a word that I want everyone to get, we just chant it as we chant it together.
All right.
Maybe at the end of the lesson, it's something they are used to. They keep.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Another activity that I can introduce to you is, for example, you're gonna have the students put up their fingers according to the number of syllables in the word. For instance, if I say giraffe, they're gonna put up 2 fingers, giraffe. But if I say dinosaur, they're gonna put up 3 fingers, all right? What about teaching stress syllables, everybody? Another activity that I can introduce to you. I would like my students to clap their hands for the unstressed syllable. And then they're gonna give a high five towards the webcam for a stressed syllable. If I say, for example, giraffe, they're gonna act like this, giraffe, because the second syllable is stressed, okay? Giraffe. What about dinosaur? Should be dinosaur, for instance. A high five towards the webcam for the stressed syllable, and clapping hands for the other syllables, for instance, okay? All right, once again, let me share my slideshow with you. Shall we just move on, everybody? Shall we just move on? Show video panel. Okay. I think there is something wrong with the video panel. Yeah. Gallery. Video panel. All right. Okay. Shall we just move on, everybody? Well, presentation. Presentation. Write letter E and say eh. Give examples and repeat. Write letter O and say or. Give examples and repeat. Practice. Listen and say. We gotta play the audio. We may pause in 2 sentences and repeat. We may play and read, the whole rhyme. Game and activity. Sounds fun. Notebook. Clapping hands. Sticky bones. Charm to, for instance. Those are what we have just discussed, everybody. Thank you. Listen and say again. Listen and say again. Sounds fun. Cats catch mice, or the kangaroo is in the kitchen, for instance. Okay. Listen and say a queen with quick doors, or a fox on a box, for instance. Story. Why do we teach story, everybody? In order to review vocabulary and structure of the topic and the situation. Children are particularly fond of story. The learning objectives would be, for example, they can listen to and act out a story. Functional language. Oh no, my kind. Can we help? Good idea. Hooray. Values. Friendship is important. So when we introduce stories in English Discovery, we have some characters. For instance, Rose and Charlie. They want to win the Amazing Helper Award by helping people on the island. Think of questions to ask your students: where, who, and how. For example, lesson 5, story. Take a look, everybody. We have the story on the right of the slide. Toys. Look at the toys. Oh no, my kites. Can we help? Good idea, Ole. This is for the prince. It's a kite. I love this kite. Hooray. We gotta have 6 pictures per story. 1 to 2 sentences per picture. 3 to 4 characters and 1 location or 1 concept. All right. We do have the story cards. So take a look at the story cards, everybody. For example, story card 1. Rose, look at the toys. Pointing at Rose. Make questions, everybody. Remember to make questions. Who's this? Pointing at Charlie. Who's this? Pointing at Ole. Who's this? And what can Charlie and Rose see? For instance, shall we move on? So warm up, learning adventure. Listen to the story, act out the story, activity book, and wrap up. All right. That's it. Take a look at number 3. Number 3, listen to the story. Ask questions, character, scene. Listen and look at the sentences. Ask questions to check. Listen and read along in groups. Okay. You may have the students act out the story, everybody. I think this may be time consuming, but if you can manage your time, just spend, for example, 10 to 15 minutes on acting out the story. Of course, we have to guide them, including the intonation and the actions for the story. We're going to divide them in groups to practice. And finally, we will give each student opportunities to be involved in role play. Other activities for stories I can introduce are putting the story course in the right order, clapping or stamping when they hear, correcting the sentences, Students may create a new dialogue for the pictures, and they may create a new ending for the story. That is, you know, critical thinking. When we have them create something new, we are promoting critical thinking. All right. Other parts in English: discovery, speaking activities, course curricular content, revision, testing, and evaluation. All right. Visit our website. All you need is here. So as I told you earlier, this is the link from which you can download all of the related material. All right. Check it out. When you have access to the website, you may find, for example, English Discovery 2. And then you will click on teaching resources. Click on teaching resources. You can find the teacher's manual. You can find the story course, flashcards, and of course, audio. Okay. This is a sample of a unit note. It's like a teacher's book. It is like a teacher's book, okay, in which all of the learning objectives and target language or receptive language are introduced, okay? You know what you may do in the warm-up section, for instance. What else can I mention? Story cards, Unit 1, for instance, okay? All of them can be downloaded from our website. This is a flashcard, bicycle, for instance. You can also download them easily from our link. Okay. Another part that you can have access to is the so-called pacing guide. We do have the pacing guide and plan. This is a detailed lesson plan, okay, with the stages, with the teachers' activities and the students' activities. You may consult with them for the details, okay? The resources and the materials needed for the lesson are also specified here. We have, for example, pupils book, activity book, audio, posters, flashcards, and active teach software. All right, shall we move on? Okay, so this is the information, the contact information, including the address of CAB Education, the website, and our representative. Okay, what else can I mention, everybody? Actually, we have a tool. We have a tool which is called Active Teach. It is an application which can be downloaded and installed in your computer, in your laptop, and you can use it at your own convenience in the classroom. With the Active Teach, we have a vast mountain of functions, and right now, I would like to introduce the key functions of Active Teach to you, everybody. Thank you. So once again, I will share another screen with you. Year Active Teach. Okay, I'll share my own screen with you. So participants can now see my screen. This is the folder of the application called Active Teach. You click on Start PC. You're gonna click on Start PC to run the application. Thank you. It takes just a minute, everybody. It takes just a minute. All right. So, yeah. Just a minute. The program is running, and the very first thing you're gonna select is, what do you want to do? We have 5 options, 4 options actually. Save my work, create a new file, save my work, add to an existing file, don't save my work, and show help PDF. Take a look at save my work, create a new file. If you select save my work, any changes you make to the application for a specific unit and lesson will be saved, okay? You may type certain text, for example, you may draw an image on the screen, they will all be saved. Save my work and add to an existing file. If you already got another existing file, you can save them and merge them together. But for the most part, we're gonna choose, say, don't save my work. All right, for the most part, we just simply choose don't save my work. I'll click on don't save my work. And then you can see the home page of the application. Unit 1, My Toys, for example. You may click on My Toys in order to have access to the page. But if you want to be more specific, you can look at the bottom right corner. You can look at the bottom right corner of the window, and then click on the icon, which looks like a book, navigating to any page. All right. You click on this icon, navigating to any page. For example, Unit 1, My Toys, Pupils Book, page 4 and 5. Just click on it. Then you will be directed to the page. Right now, we need to take a look at the at the left-hand side of the page. We need to take a look at the left-hand side of the page. There are some key tools that we may need to utilize, everybody. Firstly, the arrow. What is the function of the arrow? When using the arrow, you can click on, for example, the answer key, okay? You click on the tick button in the page and you can show the answer key to the students. You can click on the audio or the video, all right, for example. However, currently the text is pretty small. How can we enlarge them? How can we enlarge them? You're gonna click on this icon, which looks like a magnifier. If you click on this icon, a magnifier will appear on the screen, and then one click to enlarge the page. Okay, next, if you want to move the page, you will need to click on this icon, which looks like a 5-finger hand. With this 5-finger hand, you can drag the page up, down, to the left, to the right, for instance, okay? And remember what I told you earlier? For example, if you click on this tick button, the answers will be shown to the students. The answer key will be shown to the students. However, for the 5-finger hand, it doesn't work. It will only work with the arrow. So once again, you need to click on the arrow, and then the arrow or the 1-finger hand, the arrow or the 1-finger hand will work well with showing the answers. For instance, what's this? All right. So what other functions can I introduce to you? Take a look at this icon. This is a pen, right? Click on the pen. You can draw or write anything on the screen. This is a highlighter. Once again, you can also draw or lights or highlights, or even write a letter on the screen. If you want to erase them, just click on this eraser. However, there are other faster ways. That is by clicking on this undo button. Undo, 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 undo. Okay, undo, and everything will be clear. There is also another way to clear what you have just drawn on the screen by clicking on this button. Everything will be cleared with only one click. Okay? All right. What else can I mention, everybody? We have this icon. Year. You can type a note here. Hello, for instance. Okay? Close it. You can add a link into the home page, into the window of Active Teach. Okay? Close it. You can embed a folder in your computer into the window of Active Teach as well. It is very convenient, everybody. You can click on this icon to hide certain parts of the screen. You can hide listen and call it and say, for example. You can hide, you know, half of the screen on the right, or you can hide half of the screen on the left if you need, okay? And then if you want to remove it, just drag it to the icon of a recycle bin. It could be removed, okay? So what else? Here, click on this icon. Everything will totally disappear. It's a blank page, for example, okay? Another click, the page will be displayed again. What about K? Can you guess what K refers to? Of course, it is a keyboard. What is special about this keyboard, everybody? What is special about this keyboard? All right. Okay, you can use it, you know, with your mouse. You can use it with your mouse, okay? You don't have to really type with your fingers. Just use a mouse and click on the letters. What else can I mention, everybody? The recycle bin. I told you earlier, if you want to remove the nose, for example, just drag it to the recycle bin. Or if you want to remove, you know, this black sheet, you just need to drag it to the recycle bin, and it could be discarded, for example. Okay, that's it. So those are the basic functions that I have just introduced to you. Okay, what else? What else can I mention? Now look at the bottom. Look at the bottom of the window, everybody. From the left to the right, we have help. If you click on help, you can have access to all of the related documents in the PDF format, for instance, and you can easily read the manual at home. The good thing is Active Teach is a very simple tool, and with just 15 to 30 minutes, you can definitely master the key functions of this application. What else can I mention, everybody? What else can I mention? We have songs and gems. Okay, My Toys, for instance, is a card chant. Okay, you can easily have access to the song. Okay, so listen to the song again.
It's red. It's a car.
What if you want to show the script to the student? Look at this icon, everybody. Look at this icon. The second from the right, the second icon from the right. Click on this icon. The script will be displayed. Take a look.
What's this? It's blue. It's a boat.
Gear. All right. What else can I introduce? Flashcards. If you click on flashcards, you can have access to the flashcards, you know, by unit and by topic. For example, unit 1, My Toys. Topic, family, for instance. So,
family.
The audio of the new word can be played. One click, the word will be shown. Another click, the picture will come back, for example. If you click on this arrow, we can have access to the next picture. Can you guess what it is?
Brother.
Listen.
Brother.
Brother. Let's show the word. Okay. Next. Sister, okay. We're gonna show the picture. Listen.
Sister.
That's it. What else can I introduce to you, everybody? We have the teacher's resources. Take a look. What about the teacher's resources? Click on teacher's resources. We're gonna have the photocopyables. We're gonna have the evaluation. We gotta have the story course. What can we find in the evaluation? Click on evaluation. We're gonna have, for example, evaluation chart. Just click on evaluation chart. Year, pupil's name, for example, okay? And marking criteria 1 to 6, still developing. 7 to 13, progressing well. 14 to 20, excellent, for instance. What else can I mention? Teachers' resources again, evaluation again. Take a look at the evaluation sheets. Unit 1. All right, my toys. So all of the test papers, all of the questions are available. And this is a great helping factor when it comes to developing a test bank for your institute, everybody. As a teacher, we may once in a while consult with the test as well in order to prepare our students for them, okay? Yeah. What else can I mention? Take a look at the posters. If you click on this button, poster, you can have access to, for example, tropical island adventure map, animals, food. I'll make a poster. Take a look at animals, all right? Take a look at animals. Tropical English. Wow, we have a wide variety of animals. Rabbits, dog, cat, hamster, for instance. Okay. What else can I mention? What else can I mention? Video. Okay, songs. Say please, for instance. I would just play the video.
Hello, I'm Jack. Hello, I'm Sally. Hello, Jack. Hello, Sally. Hi, Albert. May I have a grape? May I have a grape, please?
Yeah, may I have, please? Great. I like his facial expressions. And then if you want to show the script to the students, you can also do it by clicking on this icon, all right? Then the script will be shown to the students.
Say please.
Say please.
Please.
Say thank you. Thank you.
Please, thank you.
Please, thank you. Please, thank you.
Please, thank you.
Yeah.
Please, thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, what else can I mention, everybody? What else can I mention? Toolbox. In the toolbox, we have the stopwatch. You click on the stopwatch, you select, for example, countdown, okay? And then just a second. Year, countdown. And then you set the time limit, 1 minute, for instance. Start. Okay, stop, reset, for instance. What else? Another tool that you may utilize is the scorecards. Okay, team A, 1, team C, 1, for example. Start again or start again. So all of the key functions and the necessary tools have been incorporated into the application. And if you install Active Teach in your computer, you don't have to download individual listening tracks or posters or flashcards, because they have all been included in the software. All right. So what else can I mention, everybody? What else can I mention? Right now, we will be discussing some other activities. We will be discussing some other activities, everybody. I think you are tired now. I kind of, have bombarded you with too much information, but to sum up, we have been talking about the content of the course book, okay? The lessons, those suggested steps to deal with vocabulary and structure and pronunciation. Most importantly, I have guided you on using the basic functions of the so-called Active Teach in lesson. But I know you can definitely master all of those key functions in half an hour or an hour at most. So in the last 10 minutes of our morning section today, I would like to introduce my routine activities when it comes to teaching kindergarten, elementary students, okay? I do have 40 or 50 routine activities that I may use for any lesson. So once again, I would like to share my screen with you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just a minute. All right, games and activities.
Sorry, can I have a question?
Sure. Yeah. What is your question, sir?
Do this app need to access for internet or not?
You just need to download it once, and then if you have installed it in your computer, you don't need internet connection to use it in the classroom. It can be used offline. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Khôi. I will support for you. I will send you the link. You can download the activity again, one more time again in the chat box. Everyone, you can see. Thank you.
All right. Got it.
You support from the Mr. Khôi. How you can download in it?
All right. Thank you. So, here the file is ready once again. So in the last part of our morning section, we will be talking about typical games and activities, and those are my routines I would like to introduce to you. Board game, everybody. You may have the students work in groups, stand in front of the board, and they will write all of the words related to a topic of the lesson, okay? Instead of merely writing the word, you may have them run and write. They like running and writing, for example. And the group who can come up with more words would be the winners, for instance. With the words available on the board, you may have the students work in pairs, for instance. Two of them will be given a marker, and then you say aloud a new word. They will circle the word. The faster would be the winner, all right? They may run and circle, for instance. They may play another game called connecting the words, using the ending letter of a word to begin a new word, all right? Vocabulary, spelling. Spelling is a vocabulary activity that you can utilize, on a daily basis. Listen to my spelling, everybody, and say out loud the word. For instance, C-A-T, what is it? Cat, you're right, great, good job. Very fast response, for instance, okay? You may also utilize the so-called lip reading. That is, you will only whisper the word. The students will have to look attentively at the movement of your lips, and then they will say out loud the word. For instance, what is it, everybody? Dinosaur. You got it. Great. Good job. Good job. Okay. What else? Quick eyes. You're going to use a flashcard. Okay. And then you will show the flashcard to the students very quickly. Or you may write a word. You may write a word on a piece of paper or on a smart device. And you show the word to the students very quickly. They will have to look attentively and say out loud the word. I call this game quick eyes. What else? Fingers. You're gonna have the students put up their fingers according to, for example, either the number of letters or the number of syllables in the word. For example, I would like you to put up your fingers according to the number of letters in the word. Cat. 3, for example. Lion. 4, for instance. Tiger. 5, for example. Okay. What about clap your hands? The very first thing you may have the student do is to, for example, clap your hands according to the number of syllables in the word cat. Only 1, right? Lion. 2, right? What about dinosaur? All right. You can make it more challenging by having them give a high five to the webcam for the stretch syllable and just clap their hands for the other syllables. For instance, dinosaur, dinosaur, giraffe, giraffe, for instance, okay? Giving a high five towards the webcam when it comes to the stressed syllable. What else can I mention, everybody? Write on the back. You're gonna have the students work in pairs. One will write on the back of the other, and he or she will have to guess what it is. Write in the air. You're gonna use your finger or a pen to write a new word in the air. The students will look attentively at the movement of your finger or the pen and guess which word it is. What else? Rearranging the letters, okay? You change the order of the letters in certain words and have the students guess what it is. Missing letters, you omit certain letters, say from a word, and then have the students guess what the missing letters are. Missing word, you have to prepare a PowerPoint slide, for instance, and then the slide include 10 keywords. But in the next slide, you will omit a word. The students will have to say out loud what the missing word is, for instance. What else? Grab the paper. You may use the flashcard. You're gonna put the flashcard, on the floor and have the students sit around the flashcards. You will say aloud one word, and your students will grab the paper. The one who can grab the correct paper and give it to you will be the winner, for instance. Okay. Hot seat. I told you earlier, hot seat is one of the most popular games in English language teaching. Body language, okay? Get into a group. Depending on the number of syllables in the word you say aloud, you're gonna have the students get into a group. For example, dinosaur, 3 syllables. So 3 people will get into a group. They hold each other's hand. For instance, if somebody fails to find a group because the number is odd or even, for instance, they will be the loser. They will have to sing a song, for instance. Make a sentence. All right. My word, your sentence. I'm gonna give you a word. Please make a sentence. All right. Repeat if it's true. What is meant by repeat if it's true? You're gonna show a flashcard to the student. Is a lion? You say lion. The student will repeat lion. Is a lion? But if you say tiger, the students won't repeat. If somebody repeats that word, he or she will have to, for example, stand up and sing a song. All right. We do have other speaking, listening, grammar, or even writing activities, but I think I may share this slideshow with you for your own reading at home. It's all about routine, everybody. I told you earlier, we teachers can easily have access to tons of activities on the internet or from the ebook. However, the most important thing is we select the ones that we find comfortable for our personal use and try to utilize them flexibly throughout a lesson. That will contribute to the success of a lesson. We have 5 more minutes, so I would like you to make any possible questions, and if I can, I will give you the answers, everybody. The last 5 minutes will be question and answer. Thank you. Any questions you would like to ask?
Okay, yeah, I'll go first. Do you really think this book is suitable for 50 grade 1 students of a low level in a class? Because in my opinion, it isn't suitable. I quite happily get other teachers' opinion on that as well.
All right.
But I think what you've presented is great, but I think most of it is for language center classes, really, and not for low-level public school when there's 50.
All right. So thanks for your question, Mr. Banji Bryant. It's all about the class size. How many students are there in the classroom? And I think with 50 grade 1 students, it should be a nightmare for most of us. I think an ideal English lesson should be delivered to 15 or say 20 students at most at a language center. But the context of a public school is totally different. I know what the situation is all about, but I truly appreciate your effort, and I highly value your question. The only thing I can share with you is there should be collaboration between you teachers and the teaching assistant. If there is a teaching assistant at your school, or at the beginning of the course, the material may sound unfamiliar or maybe a little difficult for the kids. However, we need to prepare particular slides, and we need to utilize application, the so-called active teach in the classroom. The visual effects might be a helping factor rather than us and the book only. But I know what is going on, Mr. Banji Bryant. Thank you for your question. You do a very good job, and I'm sure it is hard work. Thank you. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? All right. If not, we may.
Well, teacher, I do have a question.
All right, sir. What is your question?
How are you going to control 50 students online?
Well, okay. Teaching online is totally different from teaching offline. For the most part, I would say we just feel like we are speaking alone, all right? And once in a while, we need to stop sharing the screen, having everybody turn on their webcam. I would like all of my students to turn on their webcam every 15 to 20 minutes. I do not dominate the talking time in an online lesson. And for every 15 minutes, you may stop sharing the screen. Then you require all of them to turn on their webcam. You can make questions. You can have them answer your questions. You may dance together, okay? You may sing a song together with your energy and with your eye contact via a webcam. Hopefully it may work. I've been dealing with different age groups in online lessons, including primary students, teenagers, and adults. And I would say, ideally, teenagers and young adults are easier to deal with in an online lesson. As for kids, I guess there should be the accompany of their parents. And the attention span of kids is pretty short. So after 5, 10, or 15 minutes, we need to have them, turn on their webcam and interact with it via the webcam. Thank you, sir. All right.
Okay, thank you.
One more question.
Well, I was about to ask you if we're gonna have TA.
All right. Do you have a TA in your lesson?
No, we're gonna have a TA in the classroom.
All right.
Online classroom. Because most of my students probably wouldn't understand what am I gonna say. And I probably need a translator.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I agree. So this is a very typical question that I received. Translation is effective, and translation is the easiest tool in order to help the students understand the meaning of a new word, for example. However, as I told you earlier, translation should be the last option and the final step of teaching. When it comes to concrete words like animals, toys, the pictures can work well. A picture is worth 1,000 words. But when it comes to complex instructions, for example, if you want them to play a game and they may find it difficult to even understand what they are supposed to do. So I do agree that translation will be okay in such a case, all right, when it comes to giving instructions to the student. And there are different ways to provide the students with your translation, either from the help of a TA, either from Google Translation if your classroom is provided with internet connection. But once again, translation should be one of the last steps in teaching. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, seems that you don't have any other questions. So once again, I would like to thank all of you for your participation today, everybody. It proves your responsibility and your devotion to teaching. I highly value your questions. I highly value the interaction that we have had throughout the lesson. When I make questions, you give me instant responses, and you prove that you are knowledgeable when it comes to teaching English. I hope to see you again in another workshop or on another occasion, everybody. All right. Thank you, Godwin. Thank you, Joel.
Thank you so much.
Eric, Daniel, Teacher Pablo, Julian, Evan.
So
thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Philip, Matt, and other teachers. Thank you. Hope to see you.
Thank you so much. And on behalf of the publisher, I would like to thank you, Behau Education, organized workshop today. Thank you, all guide teacher. Thank you, Behau Education. Yes, thank you, Miss Ling. Do you
welcome?
Yeah, do you want some sharing for the teacher?
Share the PowerPoint.
Sure, I can share the PowerPoint slideshow with you. Thank you.
Hi, Miss Ling. Miss Ling, do you have one to sharing for the teacher? Thank you, Behau.
Yes, I already shared the link for the teacher. Hi, teacher. Please kindly fill in the form after the workshop. Okay.
Okay.
I just sent.
I sent you via message already.
Wow. Thank you, Miss Ling, so much. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye,
teacher.
you guys. Thank you very much, Mr. Khôi.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Lynn.
Yes. Hello?
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah, what if the students are not obeying?
Well, talking about classroom management, it is a long story. So I think when it comes to students with misbehavior in the classroom, we have to firstly act promptly. I mean, you may approach the students, ask for the reason, but as for a huge class with 50 students, I think there should be a kind of cooperation between you and their teachers at the public school. And in the very first section of the course, certain classroom rooms should be conveying to the students. If you want to do this, you have to follow these procedures. For instance, what about the reward system? What about the punishment for misbehavior in the classroom? Right at the beginning of the course, you have to clarify everything. Prepare your own slideshow for classroom rooms, for instance, and show them on to the students right at the beginning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
One more again. Yeah, thank you, Bihao, so much. Yeah, thank you and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Anything else?